particular interest. When you're a woman, you don't necessarily represent gender. I'm sorry, but a lot of women out there in leadership at all levels do not necessarily represent the feminist movement or gender or agenda advocates. You do have some people, especially somebody like Prof, who has been in education, who has been responsible for mentoring thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of young men and women, and who has made a positive impact. Look, I was in academia myself. I taught intellectual property law for 10 years at the Faculty of Law at the University of Ghana. And I know the impact. If I tell you some of my best friends today, you would be shocked. You know, the students, the first set of students that I graduated or I taught. And I think it's amazing. People don't know the impact that a teacher or a lecturer or a vice chancellor at that level, and the huge amount of respect that one has for somebody who can manage that diversity of human beings and public relations that comes with being a vice chancellor of a university.
Now, the former president, John Mahama, had a number of choices available to him. You said you even confirmed that he had a lot of options, and at a point, your name came up. Was there ever a conversation with you about being the running mate?
Hey, but you really want to be part of the boardroom, don't you?
You know I do.
You know there are some things that I'm not going to answer. My name came up some years ago. I was very happy, as usual, to be in the vanguard of that movement. Very grateful to Her Excellency Nana Mould-Iddrisu Rawlings and our founder, Jerry John Rawlings, for considering me and Professor Mills at that time. But, you know, we have to move beyond the dynamics of a certain time. And I think that with this, it has swept away whose name was there, whose name wasn't there. We are looking towards December 7th. We are looking towards the two of them bringing those diverse shades onto the table. And I think it's a critical choice. I think our flag bearer made the right critical decision. And it's up to us to support her fully. We, those who are named, either in your thoughts, Kojo, or in the public arena, are fully behind her now. I will assure you of that. You know the NDC, we can be good at doing that.
Yeah. And now, Prof. Opoku Agyeman, of course, a very accomplished woman, and when her, her name was finally outdoored, there were a lot of reactions from the other side of the political divide. Notably, the majority leader made a comment and mentioned your name. Talked about the fact that you're a lawyer, you are former attorney general, former education minister actually, and of course in his view, he felt that you were more qualified than the good professor to be a running mate. How did you react? I mean, when you heard that said about you?
Cheers, Honorable. He's my brother, so I would expect him to be promoting his sister, so to speak, his senior sister, so to speak. But as I said, that argument is contextual. You understand me. At that time, it was good. This time, we have to move on. He's my brother. I thank him for thinking of me. But really, the choice is that of our flag bearer, and not of the opposition. So I think that he maybe was taken aback and had his own opinions. I've always identified very grassroots with different wings of the party. not only with the lawyers, but also with my Ashanti region, in my Greater Accra region, and with the Northern Upper West. So I've always done that kind of grassroots work, and I've done it for a very long time now. So I think that's why people associate me more closely with the party, so to speak.
Would you have said yes if you'd been asked?
But I wasn't asked.
Oh, so yeah, you were not asked at all.
No, but why are you so interested in the boardroom intrigues?
Well, I know I'm not the only one. I know that all of our listeners would like a peek behind the curtain. That's why we're excited that you're with us today. Would you have turned it down, or would you have accepted if you had been asked?
I don't think I'm going to be trapped or tricked into any response in this direction. I'm too old at this stage now. I thought we were going to talk about gender.
And we are going to talk. In fact, let's move on to that. Okay, let's talk about that. The response from the opposition has been characterized by the NDC as sexist. Is that all there is to it, or is there no fair comment and critique of Prof. Opoku-Agyeman's track record and competence? Is it all about gender?
Unfortunately, when it comes to the choice of women in leadership, it's very unfortunate that the perception is out there that it is about gender. And I must say that even this time, I'm more, I'm more at ease, because the reactions were not as violent as I had expected. It's taken us many years to get here and to get the Ghanaian electorate as a whole to accept the fact that women can be at the side of men, and that women can even be the ultimate decision maker. And I think that it's a positive result for our society. They have broadly accepted Nana. What you see or what you hear are the usual politicking. I mean, I think that happens everywhere in the world. Look at what's going on in America right now. You know, don't let's fool ourselves. We followed the UK debate between Boris Johnson and David Cameron, and all the gender issues surrounding some of his choices for top women. It's global. There's nothing you can do about it except to continue educating both our girl children and our boy children. Because look, I keep saying this. Women do not necessarily vote for other women. Look at Hillary Clinton's issue. Women do not necessarily vote for other women.
Why do you think that is?
No, because you have to prove yourself. And we are not. I have always refuted that saying, which men come out with, oh, women, we are our own worst enemy. I do not accept that. I think that if you present the choices clearly, and if they see the strategic importance in having that particular woman there, like we have Professor Nana there, I think that women will also, like men, become more accepting. Everybody wants somebody who is going to do something for them, for their children, for the country. Nana, we are looking at her to provide that kind of critical thinking. Maybe there's a vacuum in the critical thinking, in the political ideology of this country. She can provide that. She can also be the fulcrum around which the women's groups can come together across the political divide. She represents what I think is best in the NDC. Why I have always been a member of the NDC, right from our heritage of the CPP. That is, we care for social development. So when it comes to, education, when it comes to hospitals, when it comes to roads, when it comes to ensuring that the girl child not only goes to school or goes to university, but stays there. And when it comes to ensuring that the most deprived districts in the country are given access to development. I think that these are the things Professor Nana stands for. She will speak for herself very soon. And I'm sure that we are looking forward to hearing at the topmost level but an additional voice in critical thinking in this country. And I look forward to the next few months of political discourse.
Okay, we're speaking with Betty Mould-Iddrisu. Fascinating conversation. We're learning about the NDC's plans for the future now that they have their ticket, their full complement of a ticket. And of course, we're learning a bit about how Madam Iddrisu responds to some of the criticisms that have come up about their running mate so far. Stay with us. We're going to take the Joy Business Minute. When we come back, even more from our guest.
Good morning, my name is Darrow. Welcome to the Joy Business Minute. It's brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you. Bulk fuel importers have hiked prices of various petroleum products by a little over 2%, influenced by the continuous increase in fuel prices on the global market. Government has ruled out its activities grinding to a halt as more state institutions shut down their offices to manage the spread of COVID-19. Some state institutions have directed almost all their staff to work from home as the virus hits workplaces. The Registrar General's Department is cautioning the business community that it would not extend the date for filing annual returns for another time. The department has had to review the extension on 2 occasions this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And elsewhere, the UK government is preparing to change course over the role of Huawei in its 5G telecoms network. Ministers look set to exclude the Chinese company. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best on Joy 99.7 FM.
You're welcome back. It's 4 minutes past 8 on the Super Morning Show. Today our guest is Betty Mould-Iddrisu. She's a member of the National Executive of the NDC. She used to be the vice chair, actually, of the party. She's been Ghana's Attorney General. She's been Ghana's Minister for Education. And today she's our guest. So we've been talking about the selection of Prof. Opoku-Agyeman and all the issues it brings up, including gender. And you made a very interesting point about how it's not automatic that women will just vote for a woman. That makes me now refocus on Prof. Opoku-Agyeman herself and the qualities that she brings to the role. What would you say are her strengths and weaknesses?
Thank you, Kujo. Nana has, first of all, in order to manage a country, you need to have some kind of experience, whether in the politics or in management itself. She has managed a university, and I can assure you that I've said it already, managing a university comes with diverse challenges in that you have diverse peoples and also diverse infrastructure and other development challenges to face, apart from your own intellectual capacity and your own research particulars or particularization. So I think that she has that. She also has the added advantage of having run the Ministry of Education for 4 years. Professor Nana brought a depth of its resolution of different practical problems to the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education is, I believe, at my time it was the second largest ministry in Ghana, dealing with a huge number of teachers, lecturers, vice chancellors, indeed, amongst and then, you know, the students, and trying to juggle their needs and their priorities juxtaposing that against Ghana's development needs is always been challenging historically. And I don't think that the current Minister of Education, my junior brother, Napu, will say anything different in this regard. It's easy to criticize in retrospect. Oh, she should have done this. Oh, she left me a debt. Oh, she didn't. She refused. She kicked against teacher training allowances, blah, blah, blah. It's easy to do that. I know because I have come up against immense criticism in my own handling of different situations. So that is normal in politics. But I think that she has really been able to excel. I don't want to say the myriad of things that she did while she was at the Ministry of Education. If you like, I can name some of them, including what I call a very vexatious question of teacher absenteeism. When I was there, it haunted me because I'm not an educationist, I'm a lawyer. And the issue of teacher absenteeism was one of the trickiest issues. And we had a teacher absenteeism rate of 27 to 30%. And my understanding is that Nana brought it down to less than 10%, to 7%. We're also talking about conversion of our teacher training colleges to tertiary institutions. Despite the challenges they brought, I handled some of that during my time, but then she was successfully able to do that. And really, if at the end of the day it was the issue of the teacher training allowances that, she came under some kind of attack for, well, let that be said. But there were so many issues that were handled. And I think handling that for 4 years, handling the Ministry of Education for 4 years, gives her the all-round management experience that she needed in order to handle a large organization, coupled with her intellectual capacity and background in teaching, in education, and then the management of the university. Because we are women, let me come back to this, and it's a very important issue, that the perception of a woman is the first perceptions of her is that, oh, she must have been placed there because of X, Y, and Z. This is a morning show. You have young people listening in, so I don't want to say what the X, Y, and Z is.
I think we understand, yeah.
Very good. Women hardly ever get the commendation or the respect that they need ab initio, that is up front. Their competency is always doubtful. I want to take my young sister Charlotte Osei as an example, because we were in Ghana. Look at the abuse Charlotte endured. Forget about what happened at the EC, but just the abuse on her person. And I have suffered saying there is no single woman who has held a high position of authority will tell you she has not been subjected to some kind of demeaning behavior and ridicule based on nothing but her sexuality, the precept that being a woman, you must be inferior and you must have got there through other means. And that is what some of us have worked all our lives to erase. And I believe that the nomination of Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman will go a long way to giving hope to our young women that yes, you can make it. You can smash those glass ceilings. It's when you talk about glass ceiling, breaking the barrier, it sounds very flippant to you, but we were there when we started this movement. You have been here since the women started the Me Too movement, and you've seen the magnitude of it. I was chairing the Women Lawyers Organization when we did several surveys on sexual harassment in the workplace and in academia, focusing on the universities. The results were just absolutely shocking, and it affected young women primarily. And I think that having her there will do as a world of good, not only the NDC, but the country will see positive moves, not only for women or the girl child, but for our men as well. They will have a figure to respect. They will have somebody of towering integrity. They will have somebody of capacity who will indeed be a fitting running mate to our president and eventually the next vice president of Ghana.
I don't know if you listened to our show yesterday. We spoke to Professor Stephen Ade, and he had a lot to say about Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. He gave his own assessment of her based on his encounters with her. He felt that she had been biased as a moderator during the presidential debates. He also felt that her job as a vice chancellor wasn't sufficient to judge her leadership capabilities. He also said that Ghana will be worse off under John Mahama. I know I don't have to wonder what you think of it, but I'd still like to hear your reaction to it.
I really don't know what to say about Professor Ade. He himself is known, I think, throughout the country for making these for making extreme commentaries. But really, could you really that you talk about an incident that happened how many years ago? Was it in 2012, the presidential debate, and say, because she was later appointed as education minister, she must have given John Mahama. So what about the current minister of education? What do we say that's about him then? You understand me? And is he saying that about Nana because she's a woman? I mean, how dare he really? But then again, he dares in a lot of ways. I'm sorry that he has his own peculiar assessment of her record in office. I was not a lecturer at the UCC, but I have only seen reports and of good things being said about her capacity, her towering intellectualism. I've been at several programs with her to know that she's a careful, measured person. Unlike some of us, we run with the wind, so to speak. But Prof is a mature, careful, measured person who thinks before she talks. And I'm sorry if there was anything personal in Professor Ade's assessment of her, but we completely refute any single bit of that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I was particularly excited, that you were joining us this morning, because one of the hats you've worn in the past is that of education minister. And today there is a lot going on in our education sector. COVID-19 has had an impact on everything, including that. Right now we have final year students in schools, and well, COVID-19 doesn't seem to care about the fact that these kids are being kept in one place, because in one school, Accra Girls, 55 students have tested positive. There are positive cases in other schools across the country. Your party called in a press conference yesterday for parents to just go and take their children from school. I wonder how you would handle things today if you were the education minister and kids were in school and cases were being recorded.
Thank you for this. I'm not the current education minister, but just being a mother and a grandmother, I will tell you that the government of Ghana's first duty is towards the children, the safety of the children of the schools, any school you go to. And I was appalled and shocked to hear that even with the spread of COVID-19 in some of the senior high schools, we are saying some of the MPP ministers are saying that, there's only a few cases that have been recorded. One case is even too much. One death is too much. we call upon our president, who is himself, unfortunately, in isolation due to the spread of the COVID-19, even to the Flagstaff House, Jubilee House. And we call upon him to immediately recall the children from the senior high schools. It is shocking that they are still there. Even Nigeria, I believe, has put an end to the boarding and the continuation of classes for the WASI for this year. We can find our way out, and we are calling on him to put an end to the system where the children have been recalled to school, and to enable other thought processes to go into how to handle the future of our children in Ghana.
Why do you think the children will be safer out of school than in school?
Oh, but in school, I don't have to talk to you about the spread of COVID. In school, when they went into the school, I don't think 55 of them had caught COVID. When you're in school in clustered environments, this is the situation. You don't have mommy or daddy around to care for you, to focus on you. Look at that unfortunate case we had in my region, where they said a student died, and they are pinpointing towards the fact that, maybe rightly so, what can I say, that the teachers didn't want to touch him because he was he had been diagnosed as COVID positive. It's very sad, and it's our duty as parents to mitigate this type of situation for our children. We want our children at home, where we can care for them safely. The government has put into place a number of measures, contact tracing, what and the other, in order to, and testing, in order to help us to mitigate or to deal with COVID-19. Please, we are calling on His Excellency the President. I'm asking my brother Napo to also look at it very critically. Napo suffered a lot, and our prayers and thoughts were with him. He's my brother. So we were delighted that he made this full recovery from the COVID-19. Why on earth would Napo want to subject a 15, 16, 17-year-olds to this kind of scenario? We are calling on them to disband this whole program immediately.
I suppose the reason why I was asking why they'll be safer out of school is because you're right, COVID-19 is spreading in the community. There's no guarantee that these children would not have got it if they were out of school and walking around in their neighborhoods just as easily, or perhaps even worse, than they're catching it in school. There is also the argument that while they are together, there is some sort of semi-control of their movement, and so those who are responsible for them feel that it's easier to control the spread while they are all in one place, so to speak.
Kojo,
yes,
what
yes.
does the most basic WHO guidelines tell us about contact and about distancing? What is this new word that we have all, this new phraseology that we have all heard? Social distancing. What does it mean? It means staying an appreciable number of meters away from each other and wearing face masks. Have you seen in any of the schools that this is being practiced? Indeed, can they practice it? They cannot. This is a question that is haunting the UK. It's a question that is haunting the USA, where they have even far more advanced means of communicating with the students. So they are able to do online. And look at even all the brouhaha that is coming on in the States, where the 18 states so far have taken legal action against the American government, the Department of State, which asked that if you're a foreign student and your university is doing online, you should go back to your country. Please, social distancing is the bedrock, of management of COVID-19. So any argument that puts several hundred children or 300,000 children into compounds cannot be the answer to our problem.
Isn't that problem prevalent in the community as well? We've seen pictures, the markets, the registration exercise, which many of these children would probably participate in since they are above 18 if they were at home. All of these places, we've seen examples of failure to comply with social distancing and mask wearing. So is the risk any less outside school?
The risk is far less because not all the children are 18, and even if you are 18 and you stay in a home and your mother or father has the primary control over you, he or she can ensure that you actually obey social distancing rules. I heard the Parents Association, they said they formed a platform, and the parents are grieving, very, very upset that their children are being subjected to this type of environment at this time. And we talked about the registration centers. Let me tell you that it is a sad indictment on the Electoral Commission, and we would call upon them to do better for the people of Ghana than what has been seen so far. I must say that the news, as usual, you in the media, you show the sensational aspects of it. That is where the people are all clustered and clamoring together. But I know from personal interactions with several people that this actually does happen, and that actually the social distancing and some of the protocols are not being observed, especially in rural areas. So again, I know that my region, the Ashanti region, is having a press conference today, and I think that some of you will be very surprised by some of the revelations that will come out. But again, let us call on the Electoral Commission to be responsible and to ensure that there is social distancing and that the protocols are observed. The police and the military that are out in their numbers are to do what? They are not there to do anything but to ensure that peace and safety is brought to bear to the people of Ghana. So I think that maybe when you see these incidents of the policemen or the military themselves provoking attacks and wielding, some kind of power over the people who sometimes have queued there for hours from the wee hours of the morning. I think it's very unfortunate. All of this is a damning indictment on our government of the day. We would call on the president. He's a father. He's a grandfather. We will call upon him to ensure that things are being managed better. We in the NDC never wanted this. We in the NDC said that as far as we were concerned, we could have done a limited registration exercise and avoided some of the consequences of this full-scale new electoral register, some of its consequences. So we were not listened to. We went to court. We being law-abiding, believing in justice, the party went to court. Unfortunately, the courts ruled against us. We have done whatever we can as a responsible opposition to bring some sanity into the system, but the NPP is hell-bent on having this new register. And we also want our people. We don't want our people to feel left out. We are urging them to take maximum advantage of this registration, but under peaceful and socially distant conditions.
Right. Now, you again, you've been education minister before. There are currently over 1 million people engaged in all the different levels of final year preparations, from universities to SHS to JHS. If they were all to be sent home, how would you carry that out? I mean, some of them came via public transport and so forth, and now we know that there is spread within schools. So how would you logistically manage sending them all home?
How did they manage to bring them? And, Kojo, with the not wanting to sound cheeky, but I am not the current Minister of Education. If I were, this mess up might never have happened.
But you are calling for them to be sent home, are you not? That's why I'm asking, how would you do it?
Oh, but that is not my responsibility. The way they brought them, that is the way they should send them back safely. Their parents brought most of them safely. Others, they have school buses and other things. I mean, it's a very bizarre, unfortunate situation, and that today we have to be talking in this form and manner. It's really very sad. But I can assure you that the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, have some extremely competent people working there. And I think that they would know how to handle these situations. I am not going to yes.
What would you say if they said to you that, well, they've considered all of this and they are concerned that it would put the public at risk if they were to send these kids who are coming from schools where the disease is spreading, if they were to send them home, ask them to go home or let their parents come and pick them up, it would cause danger to the public and spread the disease more. What would you say to that?
So, Kojo, you are saying that the danger of that far outweighs the dangers of keeping 1 million youth in closed compounds. Why would you even? I'm sorry. I'm unable to appreciate why you would even make that comparison. I'm sorry, because even if people go out into transport or onto buses, they're supposed to be socially distant. They're also supposed to be wearing face masks, which reduces the risk of transmission. But I've already told you that I am not going to second guess the Ministry of Education. They got themselves into this mess, and they should get themselves out of this mess safely and send our children home safely and avoid inflicting unnecessary danger to our teachers. Look at the number of teachers' unions and fronts that have called upon the government, the presidency, to stop this, to stop the children continuing with this with the WASI exam. I mean, it's really heartbreaking that the government is not listening to them, and therefore they must take full responsibility for anything that happens, including any illnesses, any deaths, any COVID-19 positives. The blame is on the MPP.
Now, yesterday in the NDC press conference, your communications officer, Sami Jemfi, called on parents to go and take their children from schools. Do you agree with this call? Do you think that's the right way for this to be done?
Well, we have, it's a difficult choice for parents. If your children are in danger, you feel your children are in danger, you should be able to exercise your parental option to remove your child out of the danger. That is how I would look at it as a lawyer. And we've already called upon the government to, to put an end to this proposed WASI. We've sitting of the WASI exam. Sami did say that, and I hear him, and we would also, back him. But I'm far more concerned that the government itself is being so transient and sticking to what they are saying. I think that the government must be made to see that they have to let go, so that you don't get a situation where irate parents come and take their children from the school. It is the right of the parents to remove their children from clear and imminent danger, yes. But the government must wake up and see what every right, well-meaning Ghanaian is saying about this situation.
Now, at the moment, we're a number of weeks away from the final exam for all of them, really. what would be your recommendation? Would it be that we cancel the exams entirely, or that they prepare for the exams from home and then come and write them? What would be the better option for in your assessment?
All of this is difficult for me. All of this is difficult for me because I am not the Minister of Education. I just want to draw upon Nigeria's example. Nigeria has cancelled the WASI for 2020. And Nigeria, with its population of over 200 million people, has cancelled the examination for WASI. And they are prepared to absorb the impact of that cancellation. I don't see why Ghana cannot follow that lead. I really don't understand it. And I think that we can put into place other measures. There are several universities and several schools in other countries of the world that have cancelled the 2020 year. It's not a cancellation of what the students have learned, but it's a cancellation of maybe sitting the exams and being in aid. They will find another way out of entry into the university, into the universities and the post-secondary system of education. And this is a matter that's in Ghana we don't have a problem in addressing. We have excellent educationists. I mean, when I went to the Ministry of Education first, I was struck at the quality of the education, the different councils, and the Ghana Education Service, and the different councils that you have. It's just amazing, and it was a joy and a pleasure to work with people of that level of competence and thinking and experience. They know how to get around these problems, these issues, and I'm sure they have a roadmap ready. It is our government that must listen to them, and it is the president who must ultimately take responsibility for this.
Right, I want us to wrap up with this quick look into the future. This is not a year like any other. COVID-19 has changed everything. How is the NDC going to campaign for 2020 when, campaigns and, actually rallies are banned and gatherings of more than a certain number are also banned?
Yes. We now have our campaign team led by my brother again from Accra, Professor Joshua Alabi, and his deputy, Alex Segwefia, from the Volta region. And then a very interesting number of members of the campaign team. I'm so excited looking at the composition of the team and knowing what has gone into it, that I'm so excited at the future, the next few months, and I know that we're going to have an incredible campaign. It will be stressful because it's a COVID-19 situation. We have to deal with it. There will not be mass rallies and there will not be mass meetings. You've seen our flag bearer already coming out with remarkable initiatives on how to reach the people. Speak Out, John Mahama, which has gone viral now, and his intense use of Facebook and WhatsApp and other social media handles in order to disseminate our message across. True, social media doesn't take us everywhere, but he's had a series of regional meetings with regional leaders. He's also met with different groups. When he can, he takes the opportunity to go out to the communities himself. I think you've seen him in various communities in the Volta region, especially over the last few months, and other regions. And we have to do the old style. Professor Mills, if you remember, the late Professor Mills, won the 2008 election for us, primarily with we had no little funding then. And it was a different time. It wasn't COVID-19 time. It was a time when our funding was extremely constrained. You could not just afford to hold large rallies and mass gatherings. He won it and won the hearts and minds of Ghanaians by doing what? House to house. And I know that our flag bearer has been urging our regional executives, our constituencies, the branches. We are adopting branches. Individuals are being urged to go to the branches. We are helping in monitoring the registration exercises from all angles. And we go, as with the branches, we can meet with the executives of the branches. And I know that thousands of branches have been adopted all over the country by NDC members and by sympathizers. And by so doing, we urge these branches to meet, and when they meet, we come together and form our strategies. I see that this is how the campaign will be. This is not a campaign for mass, it's not going to be a campaign for mass gatherings to put anybody in any danger. So we look forward to more campaign strategies, as much online as we can, but appreciating that our rank and file are out there where they are just not online, and we have to be able to reach them. We also, in the forefront of the campaign, we have to be extremely careful of our social distancing and be responsible in this era of COVID-19. Look at what has happened to some of our brothers and sisters in the MPP executive. Exactly the same thing can happen to us. But this was the problem of holding their primaries at that particular point in time. It is such a tragedy. Sir John is missed equally by the NDC as he is by the MPP. And there are various others who have lost their lives in this particular era. And our hearts go out to them. We do not want one more COVID positive patient. We do not want any more casualties, and we are going to conduct our campaign in a way that will minimize the risk to our NDC members and also to our teaming supporters and sympathizers. We want to call, let me use this opportunity to call on the women especially to come out and register. And they should not be afraid. They should not be afraid of fear any intimidation tactics. Some of them are being used currently by the military and the police in various parts of the country. They must come out and come and register. A lot of them, a majority, have the Ghana card, both the MPP and the NDC. Let us look at that happening in safety. And I call on the EC again to assist us in that regard. Thank you, Kojo.
Thank you, too. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and we hope to do this again soon. Betty Mould-Iddrisu, everyone. So I'd love to hear from you. Why don't you give us a call, 0302-216-541, 0244-340437. You're all talking. On Twitter, Odds says they should go home so their parents will take care of them because the teachers aren't doing anything. They're leaving them to die. Travis says they need to be tested, all the students. Then those who test positive should be given treatment. Those who test negative should return home. I want the students to just write the exam and go home and be free from this exam pressure. But how things are going, dear? Big Trice, who tweets very often at us, he says, I just pray none of the students will die from coronavirus. Hey, like Ghana would be beautiful that day. Oh dear. Beautiful is in quotes. And Jude says, after they test everyone, isolate those positive and send the rest home. Jan J says, but if they go home, they're carrying the virus to their communities and families. And Ku says, we need to handle this situation like we did the students in China. Now, Churchill?
Yes, Kojo. So, quick, you know that you're talking about the rallies. Yes, rallies are banned. If you want to do political activities, you can only do so with not more than 100 people.
That's
you have to maintain social distancing. But you asked a question earlier about whether parents can actually go for their children
Yes.
I told you we had to speak with a lawyer and do a few cross-checking. So I've done my cross-checking. I've been speaking with Samson Ladi. And so I look at EI 134 again, Kojo. And EI 1342 says that. So, it's, it talks about final year students in universities or tertiary institutions may return on 15th June. So what it means, and it's the same for SHS and JHS, what it means is that you're giving the chance to return or not return. And if you have that chance, you can get out.
Interesting. Okay, Nana Kweku is in Kumasi. Good morning, Nana Kweku.
Good morning, brother. How are you doing?
I'm very well. It's good to hear from you.
Okay. I want to ask a simple question. You asked the NDC lady that you were talking to. You asked her that she alluded that the members of the GS at the office are very professional. But rather, it's the president of the field. But you asked her, what would she have done if they were to be in government? But she said she's not the Minister of Education. So if you're not the Minister of Education, and the Minister of Education is there doing something, and you're saying it's wrong, so why don't you give out your alternative? And I'm keep asking these people, and in fact, all Ghanaians and parents, please, how long? Let the children go to school. How long are they going to be at home? For a year? For 2 years? For 3 years? What is the plan if they're going to be at home? So in that case, a child that is going to be 6 years, if they're going to be at home for the next 3 years, a child that is 6 years, who's supposed to be in class 1, we will then go to class 1 at 9 years. Is it the plan that we want to go through as a country? And then the second question that I want to ask these people, or even the whole Ghanaians, is that, look, you are saying children should be at home, and teachers should be at home and not to be teaching. So who's supposed to work, generate tax, and the tax should be used to pay you being at home? We have 700 children in the most total number of schools. Just about 3 or 4 or 5 schools that have COVID. Are we saying that we should close the school? So in that case, there is 1 police station or 3 police stations that COVID. All police stations in Ghana should close. And even if when you go to the ports, we have Jubilee, they have all the terminals there. If 1 terminal should get COVID, and they said all terminal ports should close, where are we going to get our tax?
Important question. Thank you for sharing. Let's speak to Tommy in Mampo B. Good morning, Tommy.
Hello, I'm Raymond.
Raymond. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for calling us, Raymond.
Thank you very much, Kojo. You see, I have my ward in one of the schools writing an exam, going for an exam. I was disappointed in the government when they called back the children first time. I was very angry. And I'm now equally, and I thank God that they have gone back. I pray that every day we are praying for our children that God should help them, God should protect them, that they should write this exam. I am equally disappointed in NDC for calling on the government now to bring back. They are putting stress on us. I beg them, the government and equally the NDC, they are putting stress on us. We are parents. They should give us some peace of mind to concentrate. We are praying for. I was disappointed. I would have loved my children to stay in school in that time to finish their paper and come back home, because then things were small. The government could have done better, protect the children for us. They haven't done that. They brought them back to us. We have gone through the 2 months or 3 months at home under those pressure. They recall them. We pack everything and send them back. We pray for heaven's sake they should protect our children for us. And I beg NDC. I beg them. They should give us a break. We are parents. We love our children. The NDC or government cannot love our children for us. We are parents. We pray that the children God should protect. The government should do everything to protect our children and bring them back home safely for us.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. Peter is in Sukura. Peter, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. My name is Peter T. Yeah.
Peter T.
Yeah, how's the morning?
Yeah, we are managing, Peter T. So, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I'm also equally disappointed in this government for putting pressure on parents, for putting pressure on students, compelling students to be under stress, writing first exam under this COVID-19. Like your interviewee just said, But look at Nigeria and other countries. Look at the population of Nigeria. What measures did they put in place to ensure that the exam, the writing of exam, should be somehow withdrawn from the system? Up to the time that COVID-19, even if it is not gone, maybe there will be some consideration of managing it. Then the children can do what they can do. What are we talking about in this country? My brother, the whip-wagging approach of this government must stop. The weaker approach to issues must stop. The polarization of our society must stop. Because some of these things is not happening. Health directors are speaking how governments should be able to do to bring this problem to normalcy. But I think that government is not listening. Look at what is happening today, my brother. Look at what is happening today under this government. I know that for they think that the campaign now they will be ahead of campaign because they are using every fund under their their management level to cater for their campaign, and that is what they are doing. That is what they think that the NDC is going to suffer for their campaign. So please, they should also give us a break. Let's think about better issues so that we can know how we can reduce this COVID-19 problem. I think we should be thinking ahead of time. Right?
Okay, thank you so much. Let's go to La Paz. Here's Richard. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Kojo. Thank you. I wish these school children, students, I wish they have the right environment to do constructive studies towards this exam. With all this confusion here and there, our government should always come up with blueprints, sensitize the citizenry towards whatever they want to do. Then everybody is clear what the situation will be if A happens, if B happens. Nothing like that. Students come to school. One child is sick and no arrangement to send this boy to hospital till the parents will come and this boy dies. The blueprint should always, follow all these arrangements. We all study it, ask questions, and we are clear what the situation will be. Then we are moving forward. Otherwise, there will always be confusion and everybody will run in helter-skelter. This country shouldn't be governed this way. We must always be clear whatever we want to do. And the citizenry, as stakeholders, must participate, put in inputs. Then the country will move forward. We all will be singing from the same hymn sheet, and the way will be clear for all of us. Thank you, Kojo.
Thank you, too. Thank you so much for calling us. Dansuman, next. Here's Douglas. Douglas, good morning. Hello, Douglas.
Good morning, Bobo.
There you are. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad at all. What's up?
Kojo.
Yes, sir.
To our leaders in this country, 1, I think they are sleeping. 2, they are fooling with our life. 3, they are joking. Could you imagine? I'm just near a school here, SHS. One of these, I found out from the young guy if they have been given a nose mask. He said no, but they bought it by themselves. Are we serious? How many recover now? And which medicine are they using for those recovering from the sickness? You see, sometimes I feel pity and shame to be a Ghanaian. If our leaders will just leave us to do our own thing in our country, you will tell us what to do, but never will they see to what is happening in the country. They are fooling with our life and they are joking as a country. We need to be serious as a country. What kind of life is that? You and I, we have to step out to whistle for our life. And they are there, just folding their arms, watching us, just tell us. We need to be serious as a country. Enjoy your day.
Enjoy yours. Thank you for calling. Now, before we take our next caller, I've noticed that a number of you are tweeting at us, but you're not using the hashtag, all right, which makes it difficult for us to see your tweets when you do them. So please, okay, if you like, start your tweet with the hashtag, okay, put it at the top, hashtag JoySMS, then tell us what you're thinking so we can share it with the world, okay? We want to see what you're tweeting about, so please do not forget the hashtag, all right? Hashtag JoySMS. Let's go to Nandom. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name, sir?
Please, my name is Jude.
Jude. How is Nandom this morning, Jude?
Oh, Nandom is very fine. By the grace of God.
Talk to me, my brother.
Yeah, please, my little contribution to it is that, you see, we are dealing with human life. And then we should consider human life first. If you are not alive, I don't think you'll be thinking of exams. So I don't see the need why we are rushing, trying to send back these students to school. Already they are in school. Now COVID has come, the spreading is continuous. Every day we are hearing that the numbers are increasing. And we are still insisting that they should be there. Remember, we started in Ghana here with just 2 cases. And now look at the number that we have. So I think, even after the exams, where do these children go? After they have completed the SHS, where do they go? They will still come and sit in the house. So why don't we assess the environment and make sure that it is safe for these children before we continue with the exams? So I don't think the exams is too much important. Of so much importance. We can use their continuous assessment to give them their results. I think that would be appropriate than allowing them to be on campus and being exposed to this COVID-19. That will not help. So that is my contribution. So government should listen and then do the needful.
Thank you, my brother. And government is listening. We know that much. Okay, so let's speak to Ajwa in airport. Good morning, Ajwa. Hello. Have we lost Ajwa from airport? It sounds like we have. All right. Well, you can call us 0302-216-541 0244 340437. Here's Felix. Hello, Felix.
Hello. Good morning, Kojo.
Good morning, my brother.
Kojo.
Yes, sir.
My problem this morning is that Madam, the woman you interviewed,
Mould-Iddrisu.
Madam Mould-Iddrisu was asking if Prof was saying that because Professor Jenana Opokwajima is a woman. Is she trying to say that because she is a woman, her competence should not be questioned? I beg to differ. The majority leader, when he was talking, I thought he mentioned 2 other women he thought were better than Professor Jenana Opokwajima. If he was trying to be chauvinistic or was trying to talk down on women, he wouldn't mention 2 other women he thinks are better than her. The next thing I want to say is that we are talking as if the politicians, let me say the government or the president and his appointees don't have their people and their families in the schools we are talking about. Please, let's stop talking like that. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you too. Thanks for calling. BY. Good morning, BY.
Good morning, Kwaju.
Yes, sir. Hey, Tepa Boga. How's everything?
Accra Boga, Kwaju.
What's going on, my brother?
Okay, everything is fine. Kwaju, let me talk about whether our children should come home or stay in school.
Okay.
Kofi, Ghana cannot be a standstill. And there's one thing that we must all take into consideration, that the cases we have of COVID-19 is not reducing whether you are in school or in the house. So as a nation, it will take a pragmatic approach to ensure that we find a way of breaking the chain of transmission of this COVID-19, but not to decide whether somebody is going to contract it more when in school or outside school. As a nation, what are we doing to ensure that even if our children are in school, this is a method A, B, or C that we can do to make sure that they are safe from contracting this, COVID-19. But not to tell parents or to speak for parents that all parents support the idea of withdrawing the children from school. As a nation, we must sometimes do away with this partisan politics and consider issues that are nationalistic as such. Issues that are beyond partisan politics. We must all try to distance ourselves from that approach. Because Ghana, one thing I've noticed is that when a party is in opposition, they don't see anything good about the party in government. And the vice versa. The children are supposed to school. We all agree that if they are in school and then and now the cases are increasing, what is the way forward? What is the way forward? This is what we must ask ourselves, but not to tell us that the students will come home or to end it. When these children were in the house, you know where some of them were always, finding themselves. Others were at the Galamsey site. Others were selling the market. Others were doing other things. And today, if they are confined at one place, as a nation, we must try to make sure that they all observe the protocols given and then to make sure that they don't contract the disease. We bring them home. We don't not go to school tomorrow because they are our future leaders. We should stop this politics about the whole thing and face it nationalistically. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you so much, BY. Okay, East Legon next. Here's Isaac. Isaac, how are you? Hello, Isaac.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
I'm Isaac calling from East Legon.
Yes. How are you?
I want to contribute. Fine. I want to contribute.
Sure, hello? Isaac. Go ahead. We're listening.
My concern is, first of all, there was an earlier contributor who said the minister didn't give, the former minister didn't give any suggestion about the question he posed to her. The minister was saying that there are wonderful people at the ministry there whom she met. So if they were to contact them, they would have given a perfect advice concerning this matter. So that was a very clear-cut direction she gave, not that she didn't give her own suggestion. But my point is that our children should come back, because my children also is at the school right now, and they have been calling because earlier before they came down, she called and complained that they were having even food shortages that time. That forced them that's why they sent them earlier back home. So this one, because of the sickness, they have to bring them back home. It's not a political matter, it's a life matter. The president even said that life cannot be restored again, but the economy can be restored. So he should go back on his own ways. Finish.
Okay, thank you. Wow. So much has been said. We appreciate all of your calls and all of your thoughts and texts. And there's a lot to think about, There's a lot to think about. Today, around the world, we are still nowhere near having a vaccine. The Americans announced that there will be a vaccine soon, but vaccine development takes a very, very long time. And at the end of it, you're still not entirely sure that you have a viable vaccine until you've tried it on a few people. We are starting to see that COVID-19 has long-lasting effects on those who get it. People who have recovered from it continue to experience new and unknown effects of the virus. So this is a critical situation. Our children are now contracting it in schools, and whether they are sent home or they are kept in place, one thing we have to do is ensure that they are safe. One thing we have to do is ensure that the protocols are observed, whether they are at home or in school. Thank you. Right, we're back with more. Winston has been to Hohoe for the ballot box, and some big issues were raised. We'll get into them after these.
Because the greatest things are born from the smallest of thoughts. Just as your seeds in a rich soil grow to become trees that bear fruits, the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB, helps you sow, invest, nurture, and grow your personal and business plans by serving you with years of banking ingenuity and experience in agribusiness, corporate and commercial banking, consumer finance, e-banking, and many more through our network branches across the country. Whatever the culture, whatever the dream, we grow with you. Call us today on 0302-210-210 or visit www.agricbank.com. ADB, truly agric and more.
You think your internet service is fast? Wait till you experience Vodafone's ultra-fast fiber broadband. That's right. Vodafone Fiber Broadband gives you 10 times the internet speed you already get. Open a whole new world of possibilities for the family as everyone gets to do so much more online at the same time on a wider bandwidth. Watch TV, take online courses, play video games, stream, download. The list is endless. Available in Accra, Tabelenke, Achimota, Adentan, East Legon, Adabraka, Adrinkano, Ashoman, Airport Residential, Cantonment, Wager, Abudome, Botre, Dansuman, Jolu, Hacho, and so many more communities. Visit fbb.vodafone.com.gh or any of our retail shops nationwide to check availability in your area and apply now.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Your office they sign. Yes, I tell you, say for proper and modern ceiling solutions, the answer be Interface Limited. They'll get in stock acoustic ceilings where you go fit make your office fine like my own.
Or is it better pass your own self?
We can't better pass my own.
I go Interface right now.
Interface Limited is the leading supplier and installer of finishing input materials for the building and construction industry in Ghana. Call us on 0274-999999 or visit our website at www.interfacelimited.com.
Do not improvise an auto gas cylinder. Make sure the auto gas cylinder is properly installed by a qualified technician. Always keep a fire extinguisher handy. In case of a fire, stand at a safe distance and attack the base of the flame. Avoid decanting LPG from one cylinder to the other. Domestic transfer of LPG should be avoided. Cars fitted with auto gas cylinders should be filled at the appropriate filling stations. A message from the National Petroleum Authority.
DSTV and the leaks that get the big boys are back.
Is your heart racing yet? I know mine is.
Yeah, crowd near the live sports papa Ebrel. Jinji Dow couch muna budget favorite stars here. Well, we are sporting leaks that get papa no so.
Sergio Aguero has conspired in the final. Cristiano Ronaldo! Something special for his hat-trick goal. Lionel Messi does it! A priceless goal from Lionel Messi! Drama from day one! This is the league we want to watch!
Central DSTV Nitum, Nimu Stasia will support your money now of Biaba Cope. DSTV, Live Sports Biaba Cope.
Hello, my brothers and sisters. I'm John Mahama. The Electoral Commission of Ghana is compiling a new voter register in all parts of the country, and all Ghanaians 18 years and above are eligible to register. Whether you have previously registered or voted in an election before, you must register now to be able to vote in the December 2020 elections. The time to make a change is now. Register today to vote in December and make a difference in your life and that of your family. Your vote is your voice. To be able to vote, you must register. Register now, and let's do it for Ghana.
Good morning. Wake up to the original magazine show. The Super Morning Show.
Trucks in the day, 'cause in the night you never see them. Only for things we do as mankind, they are well hidden. And anything I don't see, I don't hear, from them things that I tell me never fear, I'll never know what kind of battles you fight for me. Strength and hope, you be my strength and hope. In times like this, I cannot go. Jada, give me strength and hope, strength and hope, strength and hope. You be my strength and hope. In times like this, I cannot go. Jada, give me strength and hope, strength and hope, strength and hope. You be my strength and hope. In times like this, I cannot go. Jada, give me strength and hope. We are talking about strength, we don't need no strength from the gym. Talking strength from within. God in the eye, give me the power to go fight and win. Spiritual battles unseen. Oh, my hope, it's not to the $1 million and the things that I owe. Oh, light in the hands of the Father. Strength and hope, strength and hope. You be my strength and hope. In times like this, I cannot go. Jada, give me strength and hope, strength and hope, strength and hope. You be my strength and hope. In times like this, I cannot go. Jada, give me strength and hope, strength and hope, strength and hope. You be my strength and hope. In times like this, I cannot go. Jada, give me strength and hope.
Two things we need more of in these times: strength and hope. Stoneboy there. All right, you're welcome back. Now, be a citizen. Join EcoBank in the hashtag 10 Ghana challenge by donating at least 10 Ghana cedis towards the completion of Ghana's first infectious disease center to fight COVID-19 and future pandemics. To donate, dial *725# on any mobile money wallet and follow the prompts using the till numbers 32682570. EcoBank mobile users can simply donate using the biller option under donations. For further clarification, please call EcoBank 24-hour toll-free line on short code 3225. EcoBank cares. Remember to observe social distancing, wash your hands frequently under running water for at least 20 seconds, and avoid touching your face. Ghana COVID-19 Private Sector Fund, in this together. Surviving together. Okay, now the hashtag is stay safe. EcoBank is the Pan-African bank. There are some things you just don't share, like your food, your account balance, or your Momo PIN. And now MTN has made it even easier for you to keep your Momo private by performing your transactions yourself. All you have to do is dial 170 and listen to your Momo menu in Chi, English, Other, Ga, or whichever language you prefer. You can, of course, also just Momo it your way with 170 or *170# on the brighter side of life. That's why we're good together. Just Momo